Room 21 Rockstar families, and welcome to our weekly VODCAST on this absolutely beautiful Mother's Day. I just wanted to start out by wishing all of the mothers, grandmothers, and aunts, cousins of Room 21 an absolutely happy Mother's Day. You are some amazing mothers because the kids that I get to work with every single day are turning out to be some amazing individuals and leaders of the future. So happy Mother's Day to all of you. Now I want to move over to our Rockstar of the Week for this past week was Layla Moore. Congratulations to Layla. Layla has had continual amazing greetings with all of the Academy teachers and other Barrett staff throughout the school, and her improvement has been incredible. The teachers come to me on a daily basis and said, and tell me, hey, Mr. Reichert, Layla has been exceptional. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Layla Moore is our rock star of the week. Now, a couple of quick announcements, and then I'll send you off to our strategy session for the week. Number one, this week starts SOL testing. On Thursday is our first SOL, which is our reading SOL. Okay, a couple of reminders for that. Number one, make sure that your rock star gets a good night's sleep on Wednesday evening. Make sure that they come to school with a full belly, a breakfast full of protein, and just with that amazing attitude and effective effort that I've seen from them all year, and they're going to do amazing. So that is on Thursday, our first SOL. Next Friday, I believe it's May 23rd, is our math SOL. And then the Tuesday that we return from Memorial Day, May 27th, is our science. And the day of our Barrett Academy graduation, June 2nd, is our social studies SOL. So those are the dates. Just remember those great strategies that I talked about. Kind of the same routine as a writing SOL. Make sure that your rock star is to school on time because we go down to the testing room about 9:05, 9:10. And as soon as we enter the testing room, unfortunately, no one is allowed in due to the state rules for the testing. I am so confident that the rock stars are going to do an incredible job. I cannot wait to see them rock the test and really just show the knowledge that they have acquired all year long. So I'm so excited for them to be able to just show what they've got on the tests. Okay, moving along, I do want to pass along that next Saturday was the PTO yard sale. It was scheduled for next Saturday, May 17th, and we were actually going to have a concession stand there. The PTO has actually canceled the yard sale due to the lack of interest of vendors. I think only two families signed up to actually sell things at the yard sale. So that event has been canceled. I wanted to pass that along. I know that was on our Barrett Academy newsletter. That was on the Rockstar newsletters. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. Also, next Thursday, May 22nd, is a great Barrett Shake finale. So the Rockstars are going to be staying after. All of Barrett Academy, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, will be staying after until 5:30. We will provide a snack for all of these scholars during this time. They'll be going to 4 different rooms to scenarios that they have no idea what they are, and they're really going to be testing everything that they've learned this year, and they'll be judged. And then out of the 100 Barrett Academy scholars, the top 10, based upon scores, will have to stay for maybe about 10 or 15 minutes more on Thursday, May 22nd. It's about 5:45, and they'll be going into the second task. And at about 5:45, then they'll go home. Well, the following week, the top 2, based upon scores, will be going out to the Log Cabin restaurant for dinner with Mrs. Austin and Mr. Fitzgerald, and they will be able to crown a winner. And that will be the Great Barrett Shake winner for the year. And they will be the champion the whole way through next year. And so we're so excited to see the Rockstars really bring it to this event, because at the beginning of the year, during the Jumpstart program, for those who were there, the scholars actually did the same exact thing. It's different situations, and now we're going to look for that growth. We're going to see where did the rock stars excel, and what are some areas that maybe we want to work on next year with our new scholars to ensure that they can up their game. So that is on May 22nd. We cannot wait for that event as well. And finally, and I know I said this 100 times, our Barrett Academy graduation is scheduled for June 2nd, Monday, at 6:30 p.m. at North Stafford High School. The evening is going to be full of so many surprises that you do not want to miss it. You can invite the entire family. Invite mom, dad, aunts, uncles, grandma, grandpa, cousins, neighbors, anyone you want to come is more than welcome. We want to pack the auditorium because we have a night of absolute surprise, and we cannot wait to celebrate the first ever graduating class of Barrett Academy. If you can believe it, there are only 24 school days left in the 5th grade experience before the rock stars are off to middle school, and I can't wait to make them the best 24 days of their life. Finally, I did want to pass along the SOL review topics for the week. Those are available on the Class Fusion page under the Documents section, but they're also on the newsletter that goes in the Friday folder every week. This week, there is not going to be a quiz on Thursday since that's the day of our reading SOL. So Wednesday night, the scholars do not have to study anything. We'll get back to a quiz on Friday. So there will be no quiz on the day of the reading SOL. Now I'm actually going to send you guys over to the strategy session. And one of the big things with the strategies now would include the fact that it's a lot of preparation and review. So starting tomorrow, I'm going to have a math review that the rock stars can take home at night if they want to and practice a couple of different concepts. You know, I really just want the rock stars, and I'm going to talk to everyone tomorrow about this in class, to focus on the skills that maybe they feel like they want to polish up a little bit. You know, if computing decimals, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division is something that the rock stars feel comfortable with, then there's no reason that they need to be spending much time on that. You know, or maybe if fractions and decimal conversions are kind of difficult still, that's what I want them to be spending time on. So those reviews will be coming home tomorrow. The science and social studies reviews are available online. And reading, I have so many amazing activities planned for the week to make sure that we are absolutely thoroughly prepared for our reading SOL, which is on Thursday, if you can believe it or not. So now I'm going to send you over to the strategy session, and I'll see you on the other. Hi, Room 21 Rockstar families. We are going to start off today with a little bit of math review, so I'm going to switch over to my math page. Now, the major goal that I actually want to work on today, yes, we can figure out what the variables mean, as you can see here on this page, but that's not really the primary focus. So this week in class, I'll be sending home some SOL review. That will be available there, and I might actually put it up on our Class Fusion page as well, so stay tuned for that. But to kind of recap everything we're working on with variables in class, I have these problems up here that I would like, if the rock stars have time, to take a little bit of time to look at. Now, we talked about last week with the hands-on equations when Miss Staskill came in, including, we'll be talking about those tomorrow. She's going to come back in for one more day of those. Equations are like a balance, and you have to make sure that you have the same amount on one side as you have on the other. So if you have 10 on one side of the equal sign, the other side of the equal sign somehow has to also make 10. Maybe you're adding two numbers together, maybe you're subtracting a larger number from a smaller number, etc. But both sides have to be equal. So if we look at number 1 here, we have 5 times 10. Well, 5 times 10 is 50. So if I put 50 on this side, then the variable, which is v this time, has to be 50. Now notice how 50 equals 50. So my variable equals 50. That's really, really, really important when we're looking at algebra. Now, the rock stars can go down and solve each of these. Each of them is worth 1/4 of a point. So what I'm going to do really quickly, if they just want to tell me the variable, that's fine. I have a couple, actually a bunch of different problems. Here's number 1 through 10 if you want to pause the screen here. And then here is number 10 through 20 if you also want to work on those ones, guys. The other objective, though, that I want you to work on is converting some of these to word problems. We're still going to be working on that a little bit this week, even though we're moving on to probability. How can I represent what I see in number 1, 5 times 10 equals v, into a word problem? Because that's really big, and that's something that we might be seeing on the SOL in 2 weeks. So if I look at 5 times 10 equals 20, I know that multiplication involves groups of. Okay, so maybe I could, let's start with 5. So 5 groups of what? 5 groups of 10 equals our variable. So my problem could somehow involve 5 groups or sets. You know, you can use a lot of synonyms here, guys. 5 groups of 10 chickens, and then, now this is an open expression, guys, remember, because it includes the equal sign. It's not just an expression, it's an open expression or an open number sentence. So 5 groups of 10 chickens is a large amount of chickens, okay? Because remember, even though I know that V is 50, to represent this in true fashion with the variable, I can't say what the variable is here, okay? That's the unknown, right? So what I want you guys to work on, and this is where you can get some major house points. You know, I'll give you a quarter of a point for solving each of the variables, but I will give you a house point each for each of these problems if you can put it into a written phrase. And remember, there's no wrong or right answer as long as you're writing it appropriately. Now you'll notice that all of these deal with multiplication and division. So this is what I'm looking for each of these in some form or fashion. Now obviously you don't have to use chickens or the same setup as me. In fact, I want you to try to experiment with different synonyms, different words, different ways of saying it, different ways of representing the variable, the unknown. So you can get a house point for each of the problems that you actually take the time to write the written expression. Okay, so I would have gotten 1 house point here and then 1 1/4 house point if I solved V equals 50. Now you do need to record all of this on some type of sheet of paper, turn it into me sometime this week, and you can get your house points. Just come prepared, ready to tell me, hey, Mr. Reichert, I did numbers 1 through 10, I solved the variable, and I also wrote the written expression for the variable as well. So that's excellent practice there. And I also want to remind you guys that DigitWiz is an amazing place to practice some variables. So let me just erase this real quick. If you guys actually go down to our links section, I know that we haven't really spent much time at DigitWiz recently, but I'm telling you guys, it's an excellent, excellent place to master those algebra skills that we're talking about right now. You know, some of the things that we talked about way back, or when we were first experimenting with DigitWiz, a lot of you were like, Mr. Reichert, I have no idea what this is about. Well, now this has come full circle, and a lot of these things are going to make a lot of sense. So let me take you into my account, and then I'm going to show you a couple of the games that you can actually play that will center around equations or algebra. So if you go under equations, now, some of these might be kind of difficult, okay, guys? I do want you to kind of take it based on what you think that you can handle. But, now there's prime factoring under multiplication, but under solving equations, there is one game here available, like I just showed you. It's called EquiWiz. Now, these are one-step problems, right? So basically what you're doing here is you have to drag these pieces up here. Okay, so if you want to start off with one-step problems, that would be great. And remember I said how you have to isolate the variable. So if you're ready for this, guys, this is something that is really, really, really valuable if you want to spend some time with it. So if you guys remember, I said you have to isolate or make the variable in an area by itself. So in order to take a number across the equal sign, it has to become the opposite, either in positive or negative. So the 6 becomes negative, so it's 2 minus 6, and then that means that y, and I don't know if they gave me another y, would equal negative 4. So different things like that, okay? So that's a great, great source if you kind of want to take your learning a little bit further than what we've been doing in class. Now, areas that you can work on to study the reading SOL. At this point, the biggest thing would just be making sure that you guys take your time. You know, we took that practice SOL on Friday, the CSA. You guys did really, really well on that because you took your time, especially when you come to the context clue questions. But if you want to take a little more practice at home, and once again, I'm willing to give those 6 house points for any of these that you devote your time to. If you spend time in the years 2000 to 2007 and you click into these, study them, write down your score that you get, this is a great way to practice some reading SOL at home. Now, keep in mind, as I continually am telling you, some of these questions are a little easier than what you're going to see on the SOL. ever since they changed the SOL a couple years ago. But 6 house points for any of those tests that you do. And remember, the house point race is really close, guys, so that might be a good idea to visit. Finally, if you come under the Rockstar documents and if you go to SOL review, the refrigerator cards that you have, including the review calendar, are available here. Now, I said earlier that there will not be a quiz on Thursday since it is the day of our SOL. So tomorrow we are going to have a short little quiz/test on cells, okay? And then Tuesday will be Kingdoms, Wednesday will be Oceans, and then we're going to take a break on Wednesday or Thursday and then do Earth movements on Friday. So we'll have one less quiz than we typically have this week due to the SOL. I didn't want to put one on there. But once again, the refrigerator cards are there for you to work on studying. I am going to present you with many, many opportunities this week, rock stars, with some things that you can take home to practice some of your studying for the SOL. So it's up to you. The power is in your hands. Are you going to take those opportunities or not? So if you come into class sometime this week with your work, you can tell me the secret code, which is I will rock the reading test. Reading SOL, which is coming up on Thursday. I will rock the reading test. You can get yourself 5 extra house points, ladies and gentlemen. This is all that I have for you guys this week. Like I said, I'm going to be presenting you with many opportunities this week in class that you can take some items home to kind of prep yourself and refresh those skills for the SOLs that are upcoming. I will see you guys on the other end. Okay, Room 21 Rockstar families, I hope that those strategies were successful. And once again, I just want to wish all of the mothers of Room 21 a very happy Mother's Day. You are the best. It has been such an honor to be teaching your children this year. You are clearly raising some amazing, amazing kids that are going to really change the world. I could not be more grateful. Happy Mother's Day. If you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me. Interims will be coming home on Friday, Barrett Academy and Stafford County Public School interims. Have a wonderful week. You are the best families in Stafford County, and I'll see you next time. You gotta keep on keeping on, even with the feeling that you're gonna keep